Hello and welcome to Combine and Conquer. This is a new, relaxing, multi-planetary 2D automation game from developer Martin Buck Software. In it, we have a top-down view while we mine resources, build those factories, and travel to other planets, all while expanding and growing and researching new things. I did do a short series on this here on YouTube for version 0.3x, and now that 0.4 has come out, it has a lot of upgrades and a lot of enhancements. Some of the recipes are simpler or faster at least, and makes the game flow a little bit better, while also adding in some extra resources and things. The upgrade to 0.4 has caused game breaking, or is a game save breaking rather. So I figured it was a good time to start over, and I figured it was also a good time to move this into my Premiere slot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We start off here looking at a planet from a very high level. As you can see, the graphics are very like retro. So they're higher pixel rate or whatever, larger pixels. That's what I meant to say. But you can zoom out here and see the other planets in the system that you're in, which we can eventually get into and start collecting resources from them. In fact, there's one resource that's only available on other planets. That's titanium. So we're going to have to look for that. As we zoom in, we can start to see different types of resources appearing in clumps here. And there are different types of land. There's mountains here, which we cannot build upon. There is rocks, which we can build upon. And there's also ground, which you can build upon. I don't know if there's any real advantage to building on one or the other. And we also have sand, and then, of course, you have water. And you can see whether you can build on things or not by looking up here in the top right corner. It tells you what terrain you're on, as well as whether you can find resources there or not. And then you can also zoom in and take a look at the resources. So there is, of course, copper, which is an orange color. There is iron, which is the blue color, because they're using the standard game colors rather than real-life colors. We have stone here, and we have coal here. And as you zoom in, these resource nodes get a little bit more defined in shape. And you can finally see at this level here that we are, in fact, zoomed all the way in. So I want to look around for some places a decent amount of coal, a decent amount of iron, a decent amount of copper. Actually, we don't need that much copper, but a decent amount of coal, a decent amount of iron for sure. There's all over the place here. It's a huge planet, and we can continue expansion however we want to. But I want to just kind of pick a spot here to get started, where we can get at least some of the basic resources. I actually don't know what stone is used for yet. We're going to have to figure that out together as we go along. But I think that doesn't give me any copper. Maybe we go to a different spot. I want to start off on ground this time. I think I started out on the rocks the last time, just to kind of give it a little bit of variety. Although I think I was a little bit of both. There's not a lot of iron over there. There's a lot over here. A lot. This could be good. We can expand our zone here, but we start off with this this more immediate area here of the area given by this bounding box, and then we can move out from there to expand to the rest of the world and the rest of the system, for that matter. I think this should work to get us started, and we can expand from here. We're not zoomed in far enough? Oh, okay. Well then, how about now? There we go. So the next thing we need to do is we need to place the usual factory buildings. We have assemblers here. We have inserter arms here. We have belts. We have miners, and a lot more that we can collect over time. The first things we have, the base here, the base starter block, provides 500 energy. We have some stats over here. Brightness must be for solar. Usage is for power. Is how much power we're using. Production is how much power we're producing. 500 default, and then 0 solar so far, and then we have nothing in storage. That must be power storage, like accumulator type, battery type stuff. So we're going to want to mine coal for power and for smelting, iron for smelting as well, And stone, I don't know yet what we need to use it for. And then, of course, copper as well for smelting. What else do we have here? This is for module design, which we'll do in a little bit. This is just materials which you don't have here in the build menu. Q is for building. E is for recipe assignment. We also have our power burners here, so we can we produce 100 energy per burner, and they need a certain amount of coal provided to them. Per thing, space buildings, I guess, or space recipes, and then these are kind of like special buildings. These are the influences, which are the way you expand your coverage range here. They don't have to be adjacent or connected at all. They can be wherever you want. So you can start a separate factory, as I did in my last series, just to collect coal for power. And power is magic, so everything links back together again. And the number here at the cursor is how many of those items you have made currently. Chests, providers, which providers are a special kind of chest where if you insert an item into it, if it's a buildable item, that is, then it becomes part of this number here, this inventory of 10 in this case. No labs, so we'll need to build a lab. And if I remember correctly, labs cost, chips and wire. Okay. And there's also a time here now. And before it was ticks, and now it tells you exactly how much time that it will take to make these things. And that's kind of a crazy number, so let's kind of ignore that one. And instead we'll look at something a little simpler, like a belt, for example. So a belt takes 1 iron plate and 1 gear. 1 gear happens to take 1 iron plate, so you can see there our total amount here is 2 iron plates taken to make 1 belt. And then the time taken to make the belt is 4 seconds and 96 milliseconds, or 256 ticks. The total time, which includes the crafting time for the gear, is 8 seconds and 192 milliseconds, or 512 ticks. I don't know exactly how much a tick is. I guess it's 60 seconds, or 60 ticks per second. I didn't actually do the math on it. No, it's not even that many. I don't know. 256 minus 96 divided by 4 is 40 ticks per second. Okay. 40 ticks per second. So I think we're going to start out just by doing some mining of iron and coal and start doing some smelting. We should have smelters here too. We have furnace burners here. And then we also have... and here on the item screen, you can see, which is where you set the recipes, you can see the items that you can actually build in the world, and these are used to set the recipes on assemblers. So we'll use those in a little bit, but we need to start off with some furnaces and and then some iron. Now, someone told me there's a way to do smelting where you can sneak this in before you have some of the advanced stuff, but I wasn't following what they were saying, so we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way for now, and see what we can come up with for a layout, or to get everything going. Let's do that, and then we'll take an inserter arm here, and then we'll do this here. Except that I did it wrong already. There we go. Delete that, and one of these. And then we also need coal here, so we can do this. You can right-click on an item to place a copy or a clone of that item. So I could do that, and then I can do something like this. Too far again. And then if you just hit delete while you're hovering over something, you'll delete that thing. So that'll get us some iron plates made, and then those can be put into an assembler to make things like gears or belts. I think we'll start out with gears, and you do that by going to the items menu, picking the item you want to make, and then clicking on the assembler. So now we're able to make gears. And that's probably not going to be fast enough for this, but it'll do for now until we can get something else figured out. Once we get gears going, then we're going to have to deal with somehow getting this a bit better laid out, and that's going to take some research to get going. So I think we're going to just start with what we can, and then figure it out from there. And a miner can pull, depending on how many nodes a miner is hovering over, it can pull, it can provide more than one, more than enough stuff for one. Although I don't really know why it's grabbing, it's only letting one of them grab from. So maybe I just don't bother doing that, we just do another miner. And now we need to figure out how to get coal down to this one. There are no undergrounds, there are no anything like that to start the game with. So we're going to have to do maybe something like this. There we go. What if I do like that? Is that going to help me any? Probably not. Probably not. Because then I won't be able to get these out of here. Let's do, instead, let's come around the long way. It gets expensive on the belts, but I think this is the way I'm going to have to do this for now. And then I want to take another assembler. And I'm not right-click copying because I actually want this one to be a different recipe. And if you clone this, then you'll get the same recipe. Not that we couldn't change the recipe, but either way works. And for this one, I want to make belts. So we'll make belts. This takes iron input and the gear input, like that. And then I need to put these into a provider. So I need to change this belt again. So that I can put them into a provider. Those are down here. Special, yeah. There, and then here. And that's a quick assembly to make things like belts. But as I mentioned, we're actually going to have to make research so that we can do some... we could unlock some research. And for research, we need to have gears and plates as well. Or just gears, rather. Which is good. Research token 1 is just 1 gear. And then we feed those into a lab, which we need to make. So we need to have 8 chips and 4 wires to make 1 lab. And that's going to require some copper. To come up here, chips require 1 wire and 1 iron plate. And then wire is copper plate. 2 wire it's from 1 copper plate. So the total here is going to be 8 iron and 6 copper in order to make 1 chip. Or one chip. So let's do a little bit more iron smelting, and we'll also come down here and grab some of this copper. I think I'm just going to do 1 again. Yes, it's backed up now. Okay. Just do 1 again, and actually I can do... I should have probably done this before, but I could do this... And then I can grab coal from here also. And that'll give me a little bit more iron. And then I can take from here also some copper. And we can bring the iron, or the coal down here. Let's see. Let's bring it out a little bit. This can go here. You don't have to set recipes on the smelters. They will just smelt whatever you put in there. Let's see, I want to go here-ish. There we go. And then this can go here, and that'll give us some copper, and then we can feed that out into an assembler to make wire. Because all of it goes into wire. All the copper goes into wire for a chip. Let's see, chips take... Yeah, wire and iron plate. And then the lab will be made after that from more wire, I believe. Turn that on. Let's see, those are here. Yeah. Chips and more wire. So we're going to put this, we're going to put this out onto a belt, the wire that is. And then we can do an assembler here to make, and I cloned the one to make chips. And then we can do another assembler here to make labs. Oops. There. And you can see the recipe there. So now we want to bring this iron down from here. I don't have any belts left. All right, we need to feed this faster then. And the speed right now, the hold up right now, rather, is these are 1-to-1. They take exactly the same amount of time to make. Hold up right now is coal. So we're going to need to feed some more coal into this. Let's move these up here. Let's do like 8 or 3 rather coal. And then we'll do this here. And then we'll do this here. Except I don't have any more belts. All right. I need to delete some of these. Let's delete a few of these because we need the coal to go here anyway. And I'm short by 1 still. Okay. 1 more. Miscounted. I thought I needed 3. I needed 4. There we go. So this was grabbing all the coal because we weren't getting that much past here. But now you can see that they can only grab like 1 out of every 3 because of swing time. So we'll get this going again. We'll get some belts made, and then we can proceed from here. I robbed from one to pay the other. In the meantime, we can set this up a little bit here and here. This also goes there. And actually, I probably should have not put... We can't even reverse it because of that. Stop. Okay, well, I guess I can't reverse it anyway. That's how you reverse it. Just rotate it twice. I want to get a couple of those belts reclaimed. Except that you can't do that, Wally. R to rotate, by the way, when you're pointing at the item. And then I have some belts now. I have some. Okay, that can go back there. Until we have the ability to split and things, we're going to be kind of stuck a little bit. So we're going to work towards those as soon as we can with unlocking the research. Unlocking via the research, I should say. This goes there. This goes there. That'll give us the iron we need to make the chips. And then we have the chips going into the lab. And then we just need to have one of these taking the lab, providing the lab to our network, to our system, to our, I don't know, magic building thing. And that should do it. It's kind of funny, unless they've changed the recipes too much, you actually don't need the chips for very long. Even anything copper related for very long. A lot of the early recipes are all just iron, but since there is stone now, there's a good chance that the stone is going to come into play fairly strongly, I suspect. I actually don't know what happens when you mix a patch either. I think it only takes the thing that it's sitting on and then whatever nodes are around it, but I actually may need to check the guide from the developer to see how that works when you have a mixed patch like that. Because we're going to hit it with the stone here next to the iron, as well as the stone here with the coal. We'll hit it eventually. This looks much better now, yeah. Except that this is going to be a problem next. So maybe we can do 2 of these here, and then do something like this, and that'll get 2/3 of the coal coming this way, which means that this one here will be able to grab about half, and that should be better, I think. Actually, yeah, because it's grabbing it all right now, and we definitely don't want that to happen for too long. Actually, I might even be able to interrupt it entirely. We're probably going to need a little bit more coal coming through here. Except they don't have any more arms, so that's not going to do me any good. If you delete something that contains a non-buildable item, it goes away. It's gone. Arms take what to make? Plates and gears, but a few more plates. Yeah, actually 2 of each instead of 1 of each. The belts are 1 of each. The arms are 2 of each. So we could set up another build like this that was that made these. We could also just simply make. How many of these do we have? 8. We could also just simply swap this recipe out. But until we get more coal in here, we're kind of stuck still. But we are making that lab, so that's a good thing. Do we have any made yet? We do not. The green lights on the buildings mean that they're actually working. And as we saw here on the chip recipe, or the chip recipe, this is taking 256 ticks to make. And then the lab, it takes, I think it was 4 chips. Yeah, 8 chips plus 4 more wire. And it takes 2,048 ticks to make. So that's 8 times longer. There, it's already running now. You can actually see. But I'll leave this run because we could use a few labs eventually. And then we can take this lab now. And we need to make the research token 1, which was gears. So we will take some of those. Since this is kind of backed up right now, we could probably just borrow some of these to get a few of these tokens going. I can't afford those, right? Let's switch this recipe out then. Here. Until we get plates going here, it's kind of stuck. I probably should have put these onto a belt and then grab them off the belt for this. But I didn't. And we just need more coal coming down this way. But I don't have the arms to do it. Why don't we interrupt this one? And interrupt this one. To let more coal come up to here. At least for now. Once we get the splitters, this will be much easier to do. That's much better. And the furnace takes almost the exact amount of time as 1 arm swing to make a plate. So that's a kind of a good ratio. We're making arms now. Good. So I can put one of these back up here now. And I can actually even grab more to come on to here. And then do this. That'll give us a bit more on the coal front. These are all backed up, so... Well, this one isn't. But we could back it up. There. Let's see. The arms take hardly any time at all. 128. So the gears are already going to be our... Wait, are they? 256. Oh, 512. Okay, yeah, so it's exactly 1-to-1 still, which is good. You know what? I might have just thought of what it was that they were trying to tell me about the layout of the smelters. Let's just do a little test here. If we do something like this, if we had a miner right here, and an arm right there, it could feed directly in, and then we could have the coal belt coming along here and an arm there to feed in. Yeah, I think actually that's what they were trying to tell me. Maybe we could build it like that then. Let's give it a try. Let's see, this one would need to be... I don't really want to block this, but then again... That would give me 3. It would make this a lot simpler. At least. Okay, I think we can switch back to belts now. Recipes, belts, right there. If I did that, then I could have a belt that came down this way into here. And I'm out of belts because I need to make more. But then I can take this into here, here, here. That works. Doesn't give me a whole lot, but it gives me enough. All we need is enough. Actually, maybe I should have done that, and then this. And then that, and then this. Because that'll give me 3 sets of iron for now. So let's just do that. The only problem with that is that it's taking up a huge chunk of my area here. But we could just do, let's see, I think it was shift click, yeah. And then this, that, there we go. We could duplicate this slightly differently, although, yeah. You could go even, well, no, I guess it's got to go like here, and then here, and then there. Delete, shift click, drag, click, well, okay, fine. Delete that, put this here. And resources are infinite, so don't worry about deleting things because you have unlimited amounts of things. Let's do this also. Careful not to select the base. I keep hitting delete instead of just clicking the other thing. I'm going to leave this here, though, I think, maybe. I keep hitting delete instead of clicking the button. Now I'm just going to delete all of this, too. There we go. You'd think I would have learned after the 5th time. Okay, so miners here and here. And then this can go like this somehow. Turn in. And like this. And then turn in. And then like this. Arms here. Here. Need a miner down there. There and there. And there. We'll need miners on the coal again. Do 3. That should be good for now. Then we'll grab a belt. And this belt can come over in a straight line over here. There we go. Okay. And then this can come out the same kind of way. You do this. And then this. And that. Like that. And then those can go into the assemblers, making all the things. Let's actually turn it back on itself, maybe? Yeah, and we'll do 2 gear makers for now. This is better. This is much better. Those can go onto a belt. And go this way. And the iron can keep going, actually. And then we can do some assemblers up here, making belts and arms. That won't work. Put this one right next to it. Can I do this? Yes, I can. There. And there. And then we can do inputs, output, and then these things. providers. Set the recipes, of course. Of course. Belts and arms. We'll see how that works out. But that's one build. And then we can do the same kind of thing with some more of these, I think. There. Here. Here? No, not there. There? Perhaps? This one would go here. This one would go here. This one would go here. We need this and that. And this and that. And this and that. And then we'll have to mine some more coal, but we can do this just like this. That's much better. Thank you for the tip. I finally understood what you meant. And this could merge in with that, or we can do something else with it. There. But what I want to do with the extra gears here is do another assembler. Right here. Making research tokens out of those gears. And then putting those into a lab. Low on power. Okay. We'll do power next then. We're going to need... Yeah, we need power before we do any of that, though. I reversed those belts so that we could... delete this one here in the end. But I'm actually going to wait till it clears this one out in order to do that. So we're now researching, but we're not researching anything. So here in the research screen, we have... Right now, it's not huge, but it's big enough to get us to space. The first thing we have to research is either crossings, or 2-belt mixing, or Mark II arms, long arms, or research token 2. We're going to start here with... actually, I'm going to start with 2-belt mixing, I think. So that takes... I didn't show you, but that takes 100 research tokens, 1. And that means that we have to make 100 of those. They take 256 ticks to create, which is the exact creation time of a gear. There we go. I think it was. Yeah, 256. Okay. So that is the basic science setup. Do we want to merge this in? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Let's take this way. You can merge belts just fine just by doing that. The items will drop onto a belt just like this. But this gives us a little bit more iron to feed into this system here. And if I wanted to, I could add another gear maker down here if we needed more gears. And in fact, we might want, if I have another... I made 8 labs in that amount of time. Oopsie. We could do another lab. We could do a whole other setup like this, in fact. Now that I reversed that belt. There and there. And that would double our potential production here. Oh, the little icon's lit up too. No, it's... I don't know why that one's brighter than this one. It's brighter than these too. I think if you zoom in far enough... Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's one in the machine still. That's why it's lit up. Okay. If you zoom in far enough, you get a little bit of detail on what's here in the machine. And that's what's in the machine, is an extra research token. Let's pull that out of there. Oh, we're stuck. Delete. They take a few seconds to process the research, I think. Yeah, there it goes. So one arm can actually load the research token ones in faster than the science lab can process them. So it'll sit here with one in its hand for a moment, and then it'll pop in a moment. There it goes. So maybe you want to do not exactly 1-to-1 ratio here. You could do, I don't know, maybe like 4 of these to 5 of these or something like that. If you wanted to do a little bit different layout on that. We're going to run out here actually in a minute because They've all come this way. Until they get missed here, of course. So we could add a bit more. What's going on? Oh, we need more coal. Need more coal. That was, and we also need more power, coal power. So, yeah. Let's do some power first before we end this episode. We'll do another 3 here. And we'll go this way. And then we'll put up some power. And these are... Where are they at? Nope. Oh, it's here, duh. Burners. These take in a certain amount of coal. I don't remember what the number is, but a certain amount. And we'll put them... Actually, we'll start them right here. It's fine. And I believe it's about... Well, they could have changed the ratios, so I don't want to give you numbers. But we should have more than enough for several of these. Oops. For several of these. Let's do, what's that, 7, 8? And then we can do some of these. Those each give 100 power apiece, so that'll last us for a little while. I think these will provide 2, 3, 4, probably about 11. Enough for 11, but we'll see where we end up with power. But that gives us a little bit more power. We're at 65 research tokens already, which is really good. And then we can also expand our coal mining here for smelting. We're going to need probably 6 miners. I think at least was the number in version 3. That could be changed as well, the mining speeds. But it also depends again on what the richness is. That's how much it produces. And the richness is by how many tiles are in the square, by the way. We definitely needed more coal, that's for sure. But I think that's the setup that was being described to me that I didn't get right away. We could use another gear maker. Although that could be detrimental to the other efforts, but we'll see. And it's fine that it's pulling off of here before this merges in. That just means that I get more chance for more iron to get up here to the end to make belts and arms with. So we could come back down here to the copper now and make some more chips. But like I said, the only thing that I saw this early in the game you needed chips for is for the labs. So we might as well just wait until we have a little bit more, until we're a little bit further along here before we do that. Excuse me. Or until we know, at least. So in order to do a little bit more of the iron, we might be able to fit in... Could fit one there. Oh, I can't get outside the influence, though. We have influencers, though. Let's do one of those out here. We'll just put way out here so we have the space. If I put one here, there, can I get another one in? Oh, that's the other way around. That won't work. Crap. Delete. I think then the soonest I get one is right here. But I could get 2 more in here. Can I get any more? I don't think so. That's kind of the first one we could get to. So let's do this. I need more miners. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to have to look at that recipe then, which is screws. Oh, okay, this is different. Miners did not take screws before. So it's 4 screws, which is 4 iron plates. The recipe for screws is 1 iron plate is 1 screw. So, yeah, we're going to need to do some more of that then. Let's see if I can get away with this. Just to make some. I mean, I can get away with it anyways, but screws. Feed those in, and then we'll go this way. And we'll put these into, not that. but this. And then those can go... Oh, we finished 2 belt mixing. Great. We're going to make those now too. Those go into here and then into there. And screws take how much time? I didn't even look at the times. I'm just looking at get this done kind of quickly. 256, and we need 4 of them for a miner. And a miner takes 1024, so it's a 1-to-4 ratio. It's a 1-to-1 ratio because we need 4 of these, which take 1 unit of time, to make 1 of these, which takes 4 units of time. So we're good there. And that'll give me those miners. Got 1. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this staged out here. There. Output to there. And then here. Output to there. There. We'll bring a coal belt down this way from over there. To there. I think I can just do this and just snag some. In theory. That can go that way. I'll have to add some to the belt, but that should be enough. I'll have to add, I guess, 2 more. And I guess this will also tell us... I don't have enough yet. This will also tell us what happens with mixed nodes. Which I think, like I said, it just collects whatever one is either setting on or there's more of. I can't remember the exact wording, but I think it's one of those 2. It would make sense that it's the one that's setting on plus whatever's around it. Because otherwise, how would you even be able to mine like that stone that was underneath there, where there's like 1 or 2 there? It would always be iron. So it must be the one that is setting on plus the area, the same material in the area. So these are going to be a little bit slower then, but we'll see if we end up with any stone on that belt. Oh, and we need to do some more research too. Let's go ahead and do the crossings. And let's also take a look at the recipe for the swappers and the mixers, because these are different. All these recipes have changed. So the swappers are my favorite. And I have a smelting line design that I did with swappers. And it works out pretty well. But these require a lot of iron plates to work. We need 2 belts plus 6 rods. And rods are 1 iron plate each. So we'll need to have a total of 10 iron plates to make this. But I think we'll actually save those to make for next time. And we'll explore that recipe together. We have 8 iron smelters going, which is pretty good. We could hope for more, but not until I can do a new patch, which means not until I can get this kind of going the way that I want it to, and whatnot. Or, I mean, we could do another patch. We could take this one, that one's too small. We could take this one down here or this one up here or something. But how many more of these smelters do I have? I have 2 smelters left. So really we're kind of at the point where we have to start making more things anyway, like smelters and assembling machines and things like that. So we're going to leave this here. And in the next episode, we will take a further look at this and see what else we can discover. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.